Hey guys, this we are live, yeah. Okay, this video is gonna be me sort of explaining and going through how I like my um environment set up in such a way that I have a an Android emulator and Burp working with it, having root certificate installed in it, and how I approach this entire thing, how I sort of set up this whole thing. This is a video that's gonna be aimed for beginners more or less. But yeah, it answers a few questions that I did not know how to answer when I was going through uh, trying to set this up. So this video is for those guys like me. Now I am just gonna go for it in this live stream kind of format. I probably won't edit it, so I'll put down the uh, labels or landmarks. I'm not sure what you call them for each moment where we complete a certain step. All right, let's get into it. This happened the last time I was so this video is supposed to go out a couple of days ago, but 30 minutes in I realized I was talking over a blank screen. Yikes, that was a train wreck. Anyway, so we want to start off with having an Android. I'm gonna go from scratch, so people who are completely new at this they can follow along nicely. I'm gonna begin with having installing an Android emulator on my desktop, Android Studio emulator. Okay. Now, already I remember having a few struggles in this step. I had a few error messages and whatnot confusing me whether this whole setup is compatible with my device. Namely, this HAXM stuff, which is sort of a hardware accelerator which requires me to disable Hyper-V and something along the lines of AMD. You don't have to worry about these things, guys. If these things fail in the installation process, it's still fine. You will still end up with a working Android Studio and with it an emulator as well. This is not the link. This should be the link. So go ahead and click download, and once you finish downloading, you're gonna have something like this. Yeah. So this is basically the Android Studio screen. We are only concerned with one particular function of this application, which is AVD manager. So I click more actions, AVD manager. AVD stands for Android Virtual Device. This is the only thing that we need to like sort of have um, an environment where we can install the applications that we want to test and stuff like that. Now, the important thing here is to I think it's fine. The important thing here is to select an image that has Play Store functionality enabled already. Now, usually you don't want to do this because that means you give up on root access, and that means you cannot install a root certificate which Bob requires. Um, and yeah, uh, but the reason why we pick it today is because we're gonna approach a different uh, uh, method to installing this root certificate, that is via Magisk. We built thanks to some wonderful people over at uh, over at XDA who have been who have so kindly published the perfect tool that we need to do this. This guy right here, NewBit1. What a beautiful person. All these God open source kings, they make this entire thing possible. He of course builds his work on a couple more people, standing on the shoulders of giants such as Shakalak uh, and Laptops or both. So here the important thing, you might have to download the image for this particular version of Android or anyone, whatever you like. Use I'm using the latest one. You might have to download this entire thing. Once you finish downloading, you can configure it, you can begin configuring it. The only thing you can change it really is the only thing you want to change here is to make sure you're specifying it to run on cool boot. This is the important part. And disable this. You can't really change any of these because it's a Google Play recommended image, so they won't let you change any of that. So now we're going to go ahead and try see if everything looks fine. While it takes its time, I would like to take this moment to thank my sponsor, Skill VPN. You can enable your. I'm just kidding, guys. They're having sponsors. But if you have stuck around this long, I might just have some epic cat content for you at the end of the video. Depending on if there's a cat by my window still then. There's a cat there. I'll bring it in to show you guys a cat. Who wouldn't want to stick around for that? Yeah. We can see that our emulator works fine. Just gonna go ahead and log into my Google View, make sure everything works. Before I go into the next step, which is installing Magisk on this piece of virtual device. And later I'm gonna install my root certificate and then see if it all works with both. That's the plan. Just go ahead and log in here. Ah, why do I ever do that? Alright, it doesn't matter if you guys see this, but that's fine. Step through these. Okay. Here we just wanna install this root check app to make sure that Play Store downloads things finally and or properly rather. And yeah, sometimes this can take a little bit more time than we're comfortable with. That is because on a first setup, I think this app does a little more network functions than visible to us right now. So there might be you might meet some permanent waiting for downloads kind of thing. Uh, we'll see. We'll give it a couple of. Ah, there you go. If it doesn't work uh, in time for you guys, you can go ahead and close out this instance of the emulator and open it again and try again. Perhaps it works. It should work. That happened to me one time. I got too impatient and I did that and it worked. Dating puzzle anyone? I wonder. Yeah, it is quite puzzling. The entire thing, entire process. Not this one, of course. I hope I have been completely understandable in everything that I've done so far. That is the aim, that is the hope. That I help someone somewhere out there. That this piece of content. I hear a cat by the way. I hope you guys. I wonder if you guys can hear a cat. It looks good. The cat prospects, the cat watchers in the chat. Oh, of course, it's not going to work, right? Because we are not rooted. We just wanted to make sure that the app is installed and working fine. Okay. And now that we have confirmed that, the next step is to have Magisk running on it. For that, we're gonna have to I think, should I make notes as we go along? I came very unprepared to this whole thing. I wonder if we should make notes. Yeah, I mean, why not? Right? I'll just make notes and then pop it into the description. Um, this is the first tool that we're gonna use, and the only tool I think. Go ahead and open up the releases section and download the ships. I don't want the source code. Is it downloading? Why is it not downloading? Am I missing something? Is this really what I want? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that's what I want. I'm gonna go and I remember XDA is thread on XDA having a direct download link, which is here. So this is what we want. rootAVD master. Master is because of the git branch things, and not because he thinks he's like a supreme. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and open a terminal. Oh, a few prerequisites that you might have had to do here is to make sure that the uh, is to make sure that the path locations of the Android mm, of the Android emulator perhaps and the I'm not sure if you need to yeah I don't think this is required to be in the path. So basically you're just gonna have to have this in your path, this particular folder and platform tools. This is so that you can call ADB from the command line without having to like thread this whole thing as an argument for the app, for ADB or whatever, for emulator. Yeah. So that's what the I'll link in the description how you might do so. It's basically just adding those things to your path uh, somewhere right here. You edit this particular thing and add in those paths that we saw earlier, those folders that we saw earlier. So you can instead of so you can just call them through this command prompt. Now to run this particular software, I don't think you require any elevated uh, sessions of the command prompt, which is what he claims on XDA. But the first time I did it, I did elevate it because why not, right? But perhaps this time we will approach it normally. So we have it on our desktop here. Ah, there you go. Okay, we are into this folder. Alternatively, you could just click this and type CMD and you open this up. But I'm operating under Windows terminal, which is slightly different. Now you wanna have the AVD running. I don't know why I closed it. I guess you don't have to close it really. Yeah, you could just leave it running in the background. But I guess it's too late now. Yeah, just open it up again. And while that opens, we're gonna wanna navigate to the RAM disk file of this virtual device. It will be in the same folder that we were discussing earlier. for the same general location. System images. Play Store, since that is our image here. And you can see there's a RAM disk file here. There you go. This is the file that this tool um, tries to. Let's make sure everything works. Uh, slash 86 slash ramdisk.png. I pray that this works. This should be the right way to do this. Right? I think that's it. Okay, with that we should have our matches get started. We'll just go and restart the AVD. I'm really not sure how this works, by the way, under the hood, so I wouldn't be able to clear or provide further clarity here. I'm not familiar with the internals of Android. But hey, it just works, right? Trademark. Yeah. Gotta be happy with what you know. And do we see matches cure? We don't see matches cure. Oh, we do. That's the guy. It's not having the right icon though. Bro. Sure. This is a first time for me. Like usually after completing that step, perhaps I did something different. But perhaps there's some clash of configurations from earlier. But yeah, anyway, basically this is what you want to end up with. Once you open this up, it's gonna. Anyway, we're gonna try restarting this because that was a step to be done. Man, I really hope I didn't mess anything up here. Let's see. If I did mess something up, then my plan of action is to nuke this entire thing and perhaps start with a fresh install on another stream. Perhaps that would suck, having to do the entire thing for the third time. But yeah, it is what it is. Please work. Sure. Said rebooting in 5 seconds. So I think what happened just now is because of a previous configuration of Magisk I had installed where I had it hide itself and stuff. I'm not sure why those settings persisted. Maybe because I'm using the exact same images I did last time. So perhaps it didn't change anything really under the hood. I'm not sure. But it's certainly weird and it shouldn't happen to you if this is your first run. Or maybe it does, like I don't know. But yeah, I just hope. Everything looks fine, hopefully. We're just gonna go ahead and check for root and see that. There you go. So now we are rooted. Like the beautiful thing about this entire setup is that we are rooted and we have Play Store, which is like the crux of why this is a good setup. This is what I was looking for so long. I remember messing for countless hours, booting this AVD as writable and then still having Play Store working for it, and like this is just the ideal setup. Anyway, now that we see that it works fine and root is enabled, it's beautiful. The next step is to install the burp certificate as root. Now the tool that we use to we're going to use a Magisk script that pushes certificates from the root certificates installed as a user and push it into the system certificate lists. Mm. So first of all, we're going to pull our certificate from here. Export. Mm. Yeah. Pull up. Gonna try and find a certificate here. This is the one. Now I am not sure if you can pop this in directly into Android. I think you're gonna have to convert it in some capacity. There might be command line tools converting it from DER to CER format. But to keep it simple here, I'm just gonna use an online tool that I found that does the same. Um, this online tool does what I needed to do basically without me having to worry about any further commands. But again, I will link it in the description if you don't trust this website to do it. Uh, okay, this is a tool. Yeah, great. Yeah, oh, sweet. All right. We have our certificate file ready. Now we can send it to. Where does my emulator keep going to? What the hell? Go ahead and push it into this file. It should be in the downloads section. Yeah, I think this is the one. This is the one that we just sent. All right. Now we're gonna have to find the tool that pushes user certificates into system. It is this one. Right. So before we do this, uh, I wanna very quickly install the certificate that I just sent to my device as a normal user. There's one drawback of like using a default recommended image is that it feels kind of slow. You can't give it more RAM than it would let you. Okay, I gotta go and find where I can install certificates. I think it's somewhere in networking. Dude, this is so annoying. Why can't I just search for it? I guess I can't. Okay, we're gonna try closing this. Closing this. Closing this. Closing this. Settings. Settings. It should say something like install CSL. Okay, we'll just go and find it. Huh. Wow. Oh man. I wonder if you can just install it through the file explorer. Probably you can't. I don't think so. Okay, something's wrong with the settings app now. So we'll just close this device. Make sure I am on. I am running this PC in a mode that's quick enough. If you guys don't have any issues with this step, you're just gonna have to click install CA certificates. You'll have like a huge warning message before you do that. You click yes, and then you select the certificate that you just converted and pushed into the device. Once that is done, go into settings and okay, we'll not do this one. Just open this. There you go. Okay, if this is working, maybe even this works. Oh, it almost worked. Install certificates. I'm not sure if this is the right. Mm. This is where you want to check if you've installed it, but ayo. Yeah, this is the section that we want. CA certificate install. It says the way we open this is security, insert that in encryption and credentials, install certificate, and then CA certificate. Gonna check if it installed properly. We should find it and use it. Yep. Now the next step. This doesn't work immediately because we still need it as a part of a system certificate, which is when we are able to decrypt SSL traffic through Burp. So what we want to do here is find this app, find a link for it. Is this the entire zip? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is. Ah, yep. This is the zip that you need. Right here, push this into our AVD. Check if it's there. It is. Now it's as simple as opening up Magisk. Right here, guys, is where you navigate around Magisk. Install from storage. Downloads. That's right here. Um, it is done. So we're gonna trust it and hit reboot. Once that's done, hopefully we see that Portswigger certificate is a part of system certificates. Among the list of system certificates, that means it can enable or it can begin decrypting SSL traffic using that certificate. And if that is true and that works fine, then that should be the end of the scope of this video. We should reach the end of what we were trying to do. So let's go ahead and see if that is true. You might want to scroll not using your scroll mouse or scrolly thing. You wanna drag and you wanna drag around. There you go. It is installed properly under system. So that means we begin decrypting SSL certificate properly. So SSL traffic properly. We're just gonna go and test that by opening up Burp. Now, another reason why I chose this to be my preferred environment is because you can do things here that probably you can't do on other emulators. I haven't tested them all, but you can directly configure here for your Wi-Fi settings to use Burp's proxy, which is just like amazing. It is just like it feels so close and so familiar to what we're trying to do. So it's just beautiful that way. Yep. And in case for a moment you don't want that to happen, you just go ahead, drag this out, uh, disable Wi-Fi, and you'll automatically switch to LTE, which is still using your network but without the proxy. Here I wanna enter in my this machine's local IP, which is this right here, 192.168.70.150. This is a rain meter. This is a rain meter application, and this particular skin, I think, yeah, this particular skin has been modified to show my local IP instead of the internet facing IP, which is what I need more than the other thing for reasons for times like this. I think we have. Oh, what the hell! I have two methods. This is not the one. Yeah, this is the one. As you can see, we are intercepting stuff. Go ahead and open up this. No. I guess Google is the worst thing to test this on because Google sends so many requests. But hey, it's a good benchmark to see if everything works fine. And as you can see, it does. I'm so happy that it is. Got this. Okay. So I think that's the end of. So you just go ahead and install any apps that you want here. Um, and yeah, you begin testing it. I think that concludes the end of this lengthy guide. I'm not sure how long has it been, but for those who stuck around, as promised, I'm gonna go and see music. Hey, buddy. So much. Okay. Try again. Say hi or bye to the internet. Bye. I'm gonna put it on. What's wrong? I think I'm He pesters me for milk all the time. But I don't think he realizes milk is not so great for him. Stupid cat story. This cat is so dumb, I swear to God. Like, sometimes I think he's dumber than me, which is just like crazy. If you guys have any questions, post it in the comments below. And if I have the ability to travel through time, I shall answer them right now. Yeah, I don't have the ability to time travel. So I just post your questions if you have any and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching.